All right, welcome to Jordan Matthew.
Just Jordan. It's Jordan and Brandon today.
Oh yeah, and
Brad.
And our special guest, Brad Machine Gun.
Yeah, it's water pistol now.
So y'all's fight was awesome. I really enjoyed the. I'm not taking you down.
Yeah.
You gotta just pull this a little closer.
Could you hear all that on the TV?
Man, I didn't see. I'll tell you. No, I couldn't hear that on TV or the graphics. Like, it really was a low resolution. Now, when shout out to Joey Parker, when he did your video, then I seen a lot more.
I know. I still want to see the whole video, the whole fight on his camera. Me and him were both talking about that because I went back and watched it on Fight TV and it sucked balls.
Yeah,
on there.
Quality was not good.
220 quality. 240,
Well, I mean, I still sat there and watched it, though. I mean,
like when I fell,
it cut out on me a lot.
Yeah, like when I fell, like I didn't really fall like on my butt.
Yeah.
It was
That was a glitch.
Was it? Right? Well, I will say it was I think y'all do need to get that footage because you can actually learn more. Yeah, studying your film.
Of course. I don't even really pay attention to like what I did right in the fight. So I go back and I watch it and I see what I did. And people are like, oh man, you did this and that. And I'm like looking where I had my hand down here. I shouldn't have done this, or I could have got caught there. And that's what I'm looking for.
So now you're back training. Y'all training together, or what's going on here?
Yeah, once you get beat by somebody, man, you kind of got to go.
That's
train
respect.
With them. Yeah.
Hey.
I've trained with a few people I fought, but half the people. Most people are kind of cool after you fight. Like some of them still
butt hurt.
Yeah, butt hurt, dickhead. Win or lose, they just I don't know. I don't have to hate somebody fighting. We're getting paid. That's what I'm there to do. And then, I mean, we talked about training and stuff. He came down not the next week, but the next week after, and we've been training since. He comes down 2-3 times a week.
I admire that. You know, I was telling Brandon when I think win or lose, I think it's a sportsmanship thing. It's like, you know,
oh, for sure.
You can't. It's like I'm not a big sport guy like football either. I tell them not even because when people sit there and they root for these players that are really working hard on their like what they spend months training for, their whole life training for, and you got people like, oh, they're not playing good, and it's like, but would you go out there? Yeah. Would you actually go out there and do what they're doing?
Right.
See, my thing is, like I said in the other one, remember that one podcast? I was like, man, I hate when people boo or like talk shit. Like,
oh, no.
If it's not your guy, just don't say anything. Don't boo. Right? They work their ass off just the same way I did. Don't boo. Just don't say anything.
Now, you can also see the difference between...
John Michael.
Yeah. But professional fighters watching y'all fight, like professional style, you can tell the difference of watching all them fights. Has, you know, you can see like the very beginning, a little more nervous, you know, figuring if they're going to throw wild kicks and punches and a lot more ground hugs and stuff. And watching y'all, it's like, okay, well, I've been hit before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been down these. I got scars. What's up?
No, yeah. They do a lot of cuddle button as a amateur and beginner fights. Like,
how many fights does it take, Brandon, to really kind of like how many fights did it take y'all to realize, hey, you know, I need to play chess?
My third amateur fight, like, I fought Zebulon Stroud. You know him?
Machine Gun just pulled a little closer.
Zeb. Zebulon?
Oh, yeah.
Zeb used to train with us. He was out of Jackson, No Limit Killer Bees.
Yeah, so, like, my third amateur fight, because I beat a guy. He was 7-2. He had 9 fights for my very first fight.
Really?
I beat him in the second round, and then I knocked the guy out in 55 seconds my second fight. So I was like, all right, my cardio is good, you know. Then you fight somebody that would take a baseball bat to knock him out. And you get an adrenaline dump in the first round. So after the first round, my legs was done, my arms was done.
Cramping and stuff? Like
I felt like I was in quicksand.
Bro, like when your legs go,
yeah,
that's the worst feeling in the world. And they're like, because then you're just like, fuck, I'm about to get beat on.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything. You can't move. Your arms get tired. Like,
but I still finished the fight, like all 3 rounds. And I was just like, after that, I was like, whoo.
You throw fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, not fast enough.
No, I mean, it's incredible speed you got.
How did that fight go, though?
Which one was Zebulon?
Yeah,
well, I lost by split decision.
Because at that time, he was like not training out of my gym, his affiliate gym.
Can you kind of describe like what size this guy is? Like
Okay, so I fought at 170. He fought at 170.
I'll send you a picture of him.
He was 6'2", something like that. 6'2".
Yeah, probably about 6, maybe 6'1", long blonde hair, like kind of looked like a little Viking. Had like the little shoulder tat with the like armor.
Big ass legs.
Kind of like The Rock.
No, not quite like that.
No.
He ain't that
No,
stout.
but I'm saying like the
Heck.
tattoo you're talking
Yeah,
No,
about.
yeah.
it was like armor, like Viking armor.
Oh.
Like, you know how like they had chainmail and stuff, and it comes down like
Yeah.
the shoulder plate right there. He had that kind of stuff. It looked pretty cool back then.
But see, he cut from 196 to 170, and weighed in at 170, and I weighed in at 169, and I was only 172 when I fought. He was back up to the 190s when he fought, so that was like a 20-pound difference, and I was hitting him on the button every time.
It's got to affect like your performance though with that big of a weight cut, right?
If you do it right, then no. Like if you just go cut 20 pounds of water weight, yeah, you are gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Dead. But if you like diet and do everything right, and then you just have to cut 5 or 6 pounds of water weight at the end, then you're not gonna feel that at all. You're just gonna be in really good shape.
Yeah.
Which is what I try to do when I go to 35.
Now, okay, on cuts, it's got to be an art form, right? It's got to be like a step. I mean,
It's
you can't
stra-
just hey,
it's
I'm gonna not
strategic.
eat for a week.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You're talking to an idiot right here.
I hate people. So I hate people that I see on Instagram like, oh, Brandon Davis is just like a cheater. He cuts all the way down to 135 because he can't fight his own weight class. Like, no, I get in shape. When I get in real good shape, running and doing all this other stuff, I'm walking around like, I'm talking about peak performance. I'm walking around to like 142. So I really only cut like 7 pounds. But now I'm talking about that's when I'm running like 20 miles a day and stuff and eating really clean. But I'm not doing anything else. I'm not cutting any water weight to get there. I'm just doing more than everybody else. So they think it's cheating or doing, oh, you're going.
hard work.
Yeah, this is what I look like. This is what I look like when I'm doing hard work. And then I cut 6 pounds of water weight to get down to 136. And that's pretty easy.
It's a profession, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be. There's no like. I mean, you're.
That's another thing I would say is like, man, so every other professional sport, you see these dudes working their ass off in the gym doing this and that. I mean, yeah, they're working on what they're doing. Like football, you're going out and catching passes and doing your slants and stuff. But you see them in there working out hard, running, everything else. So in our sport, it's like you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to train and that's it. Like you train and you get your workout from training. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
man.
that's not where it
I
comes.
wish they'd give the keyboard warriors
Oh.
like automatically give addresses out for them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right? If I was smart enough to get some IP addresses,
Oh,
man.
man, dude.
Hey, but I usually like entertain them and then I just start cutting them down. There was one dude after my Boston fight. He was like saying all this. I can't remember what I was saying. I was like, man, maybe you should just go lick Kyle Bokniak's balls off that poster you got hanging over your bed.
You know Jim Allers in Bare Knuckle?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he did an interview with Palomino, that's his name. And then some guy was like, "Hey man, that dude on the right sounds like a pussy."
I pull it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. I felt it coming.
Yeah,
I felt
now
it
you
coming.
sound-
Yeah, now I
you
sound sexy. Huh?
Yeah, that's what we need. Though.
Yeah, I need to sound sexy.
But he said what?
But he's like, yeah, the guy on the right sounds like a pussy, man. I was like, man, you ever seen him fight? He goes, yeah, he fights like a woman. I was like,
Who is that, Luis or Jim?
no, just some random troll like on.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure.
Who were they talking about though?
Was he
Luis?
They
wearing-
they was talking about Jim
Was he
Allers.
wearing a tapped out shirt?
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I said, so you must fight too. He goes, no, I do yoga. I was like, yeah, me too, man. Like I just quit because.
See, yeah, half of them you gotta let go because they'll try to argue with you and they're just dumb. Like, well, you lost to this dude. Yeah,
I can't
I was
really.
in there though.
Machine Gun. I was sitting here telling Brandon, like he'll tell you, like I don't even watch him fight. I just don't. There's not. Nobody wants to watch their friend fight. Like for me, like I don't watch cuts or hit or
Right.
because I mean I have I'm a Jourdan or Derwin. My cousin's Rusty Derwin.
Oh,
He's
I know them.
He's
yeah.
a boxer. So my grandfather's a boxer. Pappy Parker grew up with Pappy Parker. He used to take me fishing.
See, Rusty used to say I was one of his favorite fighters, man.
A punch drunk though. You watch
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
mean, it's a serious thing.
One of his family members used to put on. What is the fights that used to come down here?
Slugfest.
Slugfest.
Well, no. What's the one that used to be down? Not Atlas, but FII.
FFI. FFI.
Yeah.
FFI.
Fight Force
Ricky
International.
and
Ricky,
Rusty.
Ricky Jourdan.
Rusty.
Yeah, and Rodney.
Yeah.
So I've watched this my whole life. I mean, I've hung out with Macho Camacho. I've watched. I mean, you take a beating. I don't care what anybody. When you take a hit to the head, it gives a little piece of you, a little piece of use.
Well, like if you got a good defense, like you don't get
Yeah.
abused that much.
Shout out to that I did say on when Joey stuff when I was watching on TV, some of the blocks did not show up, and it looked like you were just.
Getting hit.
Oh yeah, and then I watched on the clear, and I was like, okay, I see it. Like
No,
Yeah. My elbows are still bruised up from him.
He was blocking a lot. It was hard for me to land on him, but that's one thing like my coach said when we were going in between rounds, or I think it was right after the third round actually. and he's like, don't be surprised if it's a split. He's like, I think you won all 3 rounds. This is Mike Sanford. He said, but the first round was super close. Second round, I think you definitely got. Third round, I think you outpaced him and landed a little more. But that first round was close. And I was like, yeah, I think I would give him the first round, whatever. He's like, yeah, it's just whenever you block, like it's just like subtle, quick, and they don't see it. So and especially when I got the mullet now, whenever it hits my arm or whatever, my hair like moves, so it looks like I got hit.
Yes.
And I used to tell Tyler all the time, I was like, man, you got to cut your hair, and that's why Uriah Faber cut his hair when he was fighting, because every time, even if you block a punch, your hair swings, so it makes it look like you got hit hard, because it hair swings, the sweat comes off, like ooh.
You got to let your soul glow.
Yeah, I can't.
I just made that for you.
I'm
too.
keeping what hair I got. I don't care.
Yeah, make your soul glow. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I made that for you. I was like serious about it.
Yeah.
But so my coach was like, yeah, man, they don't see you blocking them, and it looks like you get hit. And if you go through and watch a lot of it, it does look like I get hit, but when you see it on Joey's, you see like my arm right there, and like it'll land right here, but instead of like actually hitting me. And now, yeah, my head will still move, but it didn't take the damage. My arm did.
Yeah.
But it was hard to land on him, even throwing all the feints and stuff. Like, he was good about shelling and blocking his head and his body at the same time. So, and then checking my kicks, which I only threw a few. I landed a couple. I want to say I threw like 4 and probably landed 2.
Yeah, thank God, because like in sparring with him, like in the gym, it's different. He does a lot more kicks with shin pads on, so they're like a little different.
So in the fights, I usually throw as many as I throw in there, but there's a reason why I wasn't. But he came out good, checking and everything, and so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna box a little bit, and then if he throws a kick, I'll check it and try to return off of that. And I always had to make sure I had my foot facing where he was, and if he threw a kick, it makes it a little easier to check.
As a spectator of the event that was not really full blown in, just likes good entertainment. That was good entertainment.
Yeah.
Like it that's what I'm not gonna. I don't care. I know it's about winning. If you go down on the ground, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. You know, because I enjoyed the. I mean, it was the energy. I mean, I guarantee, like, if I was there, the energy was probably real high, especially when y'all were just like, come on, let's go again.
Yeah, but ain't nothing like a field stadium, though, like, you know, with 1,000 people in there.
How long you been pro for?
A while, man. Like, I don't even know. Like, I've had 9 pro fights, so.
Pro either.
I really don't punch drunk.
I mean, it's a serious thing. I mean, it's y'all's job. You're checking into work.
Yeah.
And that's when y'all as pros, and this is just me watching from start to finish, you can tell the difference in a professional athlete to a novice.
See, even when I was amateur though, man, like my defense made me look like I was more pro than some of the pros that fought.
Yeah. I think that too, but I think he's talking about just like how we like feel each other out.
Yeah.
Like they just go in, which it is. I want to say I was telling you the other day, I was like, whenever I went from amateur to pro, I was like, man, I'm not going to want to do these 5-minute rounds. And then if like I do like a 3-minute boxing round or something, like, man, I don't have enough time to set anything up. I couldn't go back.
It goes by so quick.
Because you don't have the time to put together a strategy and make them see this and make them see that, because you don't. I mean, you just have to.
It's chess. Y'all play chess, and that's what he made. Like, he choked. You didn't choke me out because he said it all. No, he choked me though. 3 days. Throat was hurting.
Oh yeah.
Right over here, choked me.
Vagina was hurting.
Yeah.
His vagina was hurting.
But he was just doing that. Say, hey man, it's in 1 second, just like that. 1 second. If I slip up, lights out. And that's chess. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I always looked at fighting as just throwing fists. Like, like Street Fighter.
Nice.
Let's just throw some fists.
It's strategy, man. It's
very much so, and that's when you can see in each other's eyes, like y'all were.
Because what I was telling him, he was really good about taking my power away. Like when I was coming in throwing, he was good at the head movement. So I had to switch my strategy in the middle of the fight and get him to come to me just a little bit. And then when he come to me, I just had to bite down on the mouthpiece and then counter stuff. And people don't see that in a crowd. They just say, oh, they're just slugfesting,
Yeah.
But it's a strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I couldn't even really go to sleep for like probably 45 minutes after that. It was a late fight, so I was like, had work the next day, and I was just like pumped. And I messaged him. I was like, I'm glad, like, and I'm happy for you, because he did 300 something days without fighting.
363.
And it was, you condition. I'm talking. I go to his house. I just got done running 20 miles. And how many people are going to do that?
Yeah.
And not even know if you're going to get a call the next day.
Well, this fight was supposed to happen.
Yeah, a while.
In March at first.
At the Hard Rock, and we got a table for it. Yeah.
Before we even hit the Hard Rock, that's why I got moved from March. If it would have happened in March, then that'd have been before the coronavirus.
Yeah.
But it would have happened in March. Then it got pushed back to April because they wanted to move it to the Hard Rock. Well, then coronavirus hit. So I was still staying ready because they were like, oh, well, this month, and then got pushed back to a month again. And I was like, that fight ain't going to happen. But I still kept getting ready and everything. But it's hard to stay, like, as...
I stayed for like 4.5 months.
Yeah.
I stayed in the gym.
It's hard to stay as motivated when you're not sure if it's actually going to happen.
And I knew I was fighting him, so I was like, man, I got
y'all ain't out of shape. I'm out of shape. You know what I mean?
But then they said it was going to happen at the convention center, and then my whole team was like, "Come on, man, that ain't going to happen. It's going to get canceled."
Did it inspire y'all, like knowing y'all left on good terms and like?
Well,
I'm thinking y'all become brothers every time you fight somebody. You build a relationship with them, right? Right now, y'all are hanging out.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Some people are just dickheads.
I knocked to do that, and he still talked shit to me afterwards. Like, man,
Austin Parker?
Yeah.
One of our teammates, one of my old teammates.
Drop his name. I didn't hear it.
Austin Parker. He knows who he is.
On, Austin. Austin, you got. No, I'm looking at it more as a respect thing because then you're like, man, y'all going to war.
Well, see, like I'm 38. So like,
okay, you look like you're 23. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just shaved it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
He just shaved the chops.
Yeah, I shaved all this drag off, man.
That's what's up.
But no, like I'm a little older, so like you don't get an opportunity to fight people that's been to the UFC, like that. So as soon as they dropped his name, it's not that I thought I was gonna be like a door opener. I mean, I thought it was like, hey man, if it's a good fight, maybe some doors will be open.
And where do you fight out of? Like, the city.
Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg.
Yeah. But yeah, like when go out, even when he dropped me, like he didn't jump on me. I was like, and it felt like forever for me to get back up. So I was telling him, he dropped me, and I was like, like 10 seconds. It felt like I was down there, and I just looked at him like, damn, why ain't he jumping on me?
He wants it. I mean, it's determination. I think is.
Well, we had in the beginning of the fight, his coach was like yelling, "Take him down!" Like it's not the very beginning. It was like probably a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And we were both landing, or not even landing that much in. It's still a filling out process. And I heard his coach saying, "Take him down." And I was just still fainting and moving, filling him out. And he's like, "I ain't going to take you down." I was like, "Good. I don't want to take you down either. Let's fight."
Yeah, we fight.
That.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was cool.
So you're 38?
38, man. Yeah.
Hey, 38 and still going.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Maybe bare knuckle?
Yeah. December 11th.
Are you doing it?
They told me the money was right, so...
They said it was?
Yeah.
Ooh, you're going to hurt somebody, especially how fast you throw.
I don't know.
I mean, if it's bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get used to not throwing kicks, so it's
I know,
that's hard for me.
I know, but...
Yeah, me too.
I did like 20 rounds yesterday.
You're blocking...
Feint the kicks and then throw the punches. Because they're all MMA fighters. I try to tell Jason and Chase to do that so many times, and they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you see, when I spar with people, we're just boxing. I'll feint the kick. Even the one dude's just a boxer. He sees the kick and he kind of shells up, and I just land some punches.
Yeah, even in a fight, we agreed we wasn't going to take each other down.
But if you can hit your combo, like if the way you throw...
Hold on, listen to this part.
So we agreed we wasn't going to take each other down, right?
Yeah.
And in the middle of the fight, he reaches down and grabs my leg. He's like, "Nah, I'm just fucking with you."
Yeah, he told me that. He told me he did that. So we talk on like it's kind of, I guess, he tells me these strategies and stuff, but yeah, he brought that to my attention. But I'm saying if you're going to do bare knuckle, and you got to admit, because you blocked a lot of stuff, but like, and this is just boxing, right?
Yeah.
With no gloves.
And if he can throw the way he threw.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I do not want to be into, like, that's where the machine gun comes in. Like, I would not want to be.
The only thing that sucks about bare knuckle is you have to be accurate, because if you punch the top of somebody's head, any one of them punches could break your hand, and you might land 20 on top of his head.
So right here,
that last one.
You want to hit from here down.
Yeah, you want to try to hit from the eyebrows
cheekbone,
down.
yeah.
So you don't play this game.
No, I don't want to hit nobody on top of the head.
Anything below the eyebrows.
Can you do they wrap your? I mean,
they can wrap everything
up to the knuckle.
Right here. Yeah.
Talking about that, Jason Knight said he's going to come back to MMA, right?
That's what he says. He's been training a little bit.
Oh, I hate seeing his face when he fought.
He did good the second time with Jourdan.
His last fight, he did good.
I went back and watched that the other day too.
Yeah. See how he'd get in, get out, get in.
Would you ever do it?
They offered me one.
He's got the hands to do it.
They offered me one, and then told me it was like $15,000. And I was like, I mean, that's not that much, but it's an extra $15,000. And I was like, all right. And
that man said $15,000 ain't that much.
All the bicycles you buy for rain.
And then
or speakers.
Yeah, there we go.
And then they never found an opponent for me. I don't know what was up with that. So I figured I might fight Johnny Bedford or something.
I'd love to see that.
That'd be a fun one.
Now who's Johnny?
Johnny, he used to be in the UFC. He's a good MMA fighter, black belt. really good boxer. He's the 135 champ in the UFC or in bare knuckle right now.
Yeah.
No, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think it'd be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Be a good fight, but super technical.
So
I think you're right. I think your accuracy would piece him up. Seriously.
but your goal is you're going back to the UFC.
That's the plan. Yeah. Now, if that doesn't happen, then I'll do bare knuckle.
You don't know. I mean, condition it, get your social media right. Because
I was trying to get him to wear a coat that way I can grab a hold of that tail.
I'll tell you, I've been diving into the UFC. Love that Robbie Fox on Barstool Sports. Have you ever watched him? He does a podcast with Dana White, and that's like Dana White's.
How often is that?
They do like once a month. Dana White doesn't like interact with a lot of people, but like with this kid Robbie Fox, he's like a really probably 22-year-old, 23-year-old kid. Just
Got to be from Boston.
Yeah, but he's just a dope kid. Like he really is. Wears Fox t-shirts, and when you watch the event, like Dana White takes him on all. Like if you go pull up Barstool Robbie Fox, Dana White takes him through all his establishments, all his builds. He did a picture frame called. He calls him his uncle. So like this kid's got access to everything because Dana White actually, when he does these tours with these media people, he doesn't do it personally. With this kid, he takes them everywhere, and then monthly he does a call-in podcast with him and talks about fighters. And
I'm telling you, he's got to be from Boston. I don't even know the dude, but I know all the. I'm just saying, it's crazy if you go look at all like the UFC. John Anik, Boston. Joe Rogan, Boston. They all come from the same area. They like to pick out of that, which I mean they got good people for it. All those people are good and should be where they are, but it's crazy that they all come from Boston.
Pull up Robbie Fox. Robbie Obby Fox Barstool.
Nice.
And he's their MMA guy, and he's got access to everything. But I will say, the social media too is a big impact on the UFC. All the shit talking, all the. I've been watching the Stylebender.
Oh yeah.
Going back and forth, and I'm like,
yeah, that dude's a beast.
Yeah,
he's fucking just calling shit. I mean, John Jones is like, and it's getting.
He surprised me with Paulo though.
Oh yeah, so people kept asking me, "What do you think about that fight? Who's gonna win?" I was like, "Man, I don't even want to pick on that fight."
Yeah, because all it takes
jumped in though. I watched that. I mean, I saved that. I mean, I actually paid for it, but watched that, and he looked like he did. He should have just fought how he fought.
Man, so if you watch him fight, Paulo Costa fight Yoel, that dude fought him in a war. So I figured if he came out there like that, it was gonna be a war. He was gonna win one.
Of course, he did say something happened. I don't know what happened, but he said something happened in training camp before the fight.
Huh.
I would think just for me picking up on the sport in the last year, it's psychology is a big part of what y'all do.
Dude, there's so many people that have like, what do you call those people that come in, like mental coaches and stuff, like that just to get
mental preparation.
Yeah, like I want to go in there. What the fuck are y'all talking about? I want to be in there. That's why I'm in there smiling.
Yeah.
Did you watch that full fight?
No, I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, because it was on the same night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I watched Paulo Costa. I watched his before fights, and he's real aggressive.
Yeah. So you watch him against a Cuban dude that's huge?
Yeah. He's very aggressive. But this time, it's like he was reserved because he didn't know. Like he was like, psychology was in there. Something in psychology was in there because it was like he wasn't.
Well, that's the
feeling
problem.
The fight.
That's the problem when you fight somebody like
Israel Adesanya. That's confident like that.
Confident and plays like chess in there. So like you said, the other ones he's coming forward and just being big Billy badass coming in.
Emotion can move.
And see, that's like Israel and
if he'd have done that with Israel, it would have been a little harder for Israel because Israel likes to stay outside, pick his shots, and move and do like you know what I mean. He's trying to set the stuff up. So if you stay on the outside like you do if you do that with Anderson Silva too, they're gonna knock you out because you giving them that space that they want and need. If you close in and throw strikes, it makes it harder for him.
That's why Anderson and Israel look kind of like a boring fighter because it was a chess match, and that's what Israel was talking about after the fight. He was like, "Hey, we both know what was going on in there. Like that was a strategic fight between both of us."
Yeah. So most fans like watching like they're not doing anything, but
really
anybody
they are.
that knew like they're setting. They got to keep this outside angle. I got to do this. If I don't have this, I got to get out. And so if you know what you're watching, it was super interesting still because you know, like, oh man, he might get something right here, and then it's like, oh, he backed out. He knew to back out of that range, but other people are like, they're just not doing anything.
Yeah. And you can sense it too because there's certain things that I throw in the gym that I catch people with that I try throwing on him, and as soon as I went halfway through the combo, he was already circling out, and I'm like, wow, crap. that ain't gonna work. So I mean,
that right there, you know, that's I think with the like y'all are playing chess and you watch all these fights. I'm just picking up on it, but I'm watching most of my stuff and go right back to a lot of it's all psychology. You know, a lot of these guys like it's just talking shit. Let's get hype. You know, like y'all like fuck this. We're gonna fight no matter what happens.
yeah,
Well, you know the saying, 90% mental, 10% physical.
yeah.
And the stronger you get with that, you know, you look at the Kobe Covington. He's gonna do what is it Jose? What's his name? Are they gonna fight?
Kobe Covington.
Oh,
yeah.
he's talking about Jorge.
Jorge, yeah.
Masvidal.
Oh, Jorge
I hope so.
Masvidal,
I want
man.
to see that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, but you watch that battles. You're watching Twitter battles are becoming fights in the UFC. So
but
get
that's
on
how
Twitter
that's how
and
they
battle.
make it. Yeah,
Get on Twitter and battle. If you want to do it. Call somebody
Bro,
out.
look at this. So, I want to say it was 2 or 3 times in the UFC. I just fought in Boston, my first fight in the UFC. Felt like I got robbed. I outlanded this dude, took no damage. He shot 10 takedowns, got 1. And when I say got 1, I hit the ground and was back up. I took him down. I was 1 for 1 on takedowns. They gave it to him. We fought in Boston in his hometown. They gave it to him. Well, then my coach tells me, it's like a week later, my coach tells me, oh, man, this dude, his opponent backed out. It was Steven Peterson. He was supposed to fight Humberto Beneday or whatever. And his opponent couldn't make it over for some reason. So I went on Twitter and Instagram, and I was like, hey, Sean Shelby, let me get this fight. I heard his opponent backed out, whatever. And then he messages me or responds. I can't remember if he messaged me or responds. Like, how do you know my opponent's? I haven't heard anything. I would know this first. And it's like, well, you might need to get a better manager.
yeah.
And then he was like, well, I guess we're going to have to see, but you don't want these problems, whatever. And I said, all right. And then the next day I had that fight.
Nice.
And then same thing happened with Zabit. It was his opponent backed out. I was like, and I had, well, this wasn't the first time I tried to get that fight with Zabit. Zabit's first fight in the UFC, nobody even known who he was or whatever. I'd already fought on the Contender Series. It'd been like, I fought in August. It was December. I put up a post on Instagram and Twitter. I was like, Sean Shelby, if somebody backs off of this card at 145, I want to take that spot. Well, Zabit's opponent backed out. And I was like, let me get and I messaged him. I screenshotted it to him, sent it to my manager, and sent it to him. I was like, let me get this fight. They never responded. So I tried to call Zabit out before his first fight in the UFC.
Twitter.
Didn't happen. Then later on, his opponent got hurt or whatever, and I took that on a week's notice when I was hurt or whatever.
Yeah, you told me about that one.
And I ended up getting that one, ended up losing. But I ended up getting the fight. The whole thing being the social media works. Jason Sefley messaged me like, hey, man, you call these people out, you get them. I said, I guess it works.
Do it. It's social media. Well, I'd like to have y'all back.
Yeah, man.
We're coming to a close, but y'all had a great fight, and it was one of my first actual, like, not me, because I'm learning how to.
It wasn't live. He bought tickets to when it was supposed to happen in April. He didn't buy them for the next time.
Yeah.
I mean, what funds this is I'm a janitor, so I clean toilets on Sundays.
Hey, man.
I gotta make. I'm a GED dropout, and
He doesn't tell you about all the other businesses he owns.
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm trying. I'm just trying to get by. But I have to. Like, I hadn't had a Sunday off in 6-7 years.
Sure.
I mean, it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to take. But it sucks because like everything's on the weekend. Man, I don't even know what a vacation is.
Well, you know that fight was on Saturday, right? It didn't go till Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in Hattiesburg.
That is
It's an
literally
hour.
an hour.
It's an
Fighting at 11.
hour
You started
away.
fighting at 11.
It's an hour away.
You started fighting at 11. By the time we get home, about 2 or 3, and we're up there cleaning at 8 in the morning.
It's
If
a,
the
it's a
fight
mini,
ended
mini
in-
vacation,
I cleaned
man.
40 toilets on a Sunday. Clean 40 toilets with shit on it. You know, full shit. I'm talking dry
Bullshit.
shit.
That's the shit.
But I appreciate you stopping by. And this is what's happened, guys. You fight each other, you become brothers, and now you're hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for stopping by, and we're definitely going to do it next time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on. All right. Talk to y'all later.
Go clean some shit.